Are you ready for an unforgettable journey through Black history? This March, I'm inviting you to join me on an exclusive tour of Tulsa's historic Greenwood District, better known as Black Wall Street. You'll walk in the footsteps of history with living descendants of the Black Wall Street Massacre, explore the new Black Wall Street Museum that opened in 2021, and visit iconic historic sites. Plus, you'll get to dine at Black owned Southern restaurants and experience the vibrant culture of this incredible community. Don't miss this powerful opportunity to honor our ancestors and celebrate Black excellence. Spots are limited, so email me today at mike@nativebblackancestry.com to reserve your place. Let's make history together.
How Afro get in front of my mother race. I ain't never been to Afro color. I never been to Africa. Afro or Africa. Never been there. I'm not from Africa. I'm born and raised in Goose, Florida. I'm born in Goose, raised in Liberty City in the Poker Bean Project. I ain't never went to Africa. Ain't thinking about going there. And I heard it's a beautiful place. Yeah. And I know it's the motherland. Yes. But not my mother, not her mother, and not her mother's mother. That ain't their land. America, real true land is right here in the U.S. soils.
I'm not an African American. I'm an American. I was born on American soil.
Saying that we all come from Africa, that's the biggest damn lie. Indian, indigo, black, native, we the real indigenous tribe. I'm the original man of America, due to the mitochondrial E. So that means every single last race in this world come from me. So if I created shoe, how the fuck you on my land first? Trying to claim my shit, man, I've been history. My people was done the worst. You not no native? Please just be honest. You really a $5 Indian. Pay $5 to take my land. You know you a fraud. You not one of them. The government changed our name just so we don't get no reparations. Colored, black, Negro, African American is what they changed our name to. We is the Cherokee. We is the Iroquois and the Apache. We is the Cheyenne. We the Californians. We the American Aboriginal Native man. Comment part 2. If y'all want me to go.
My name's Major Wright. I just got done with my consultation with Mike. If you trying to trace your ancestry, Mike is a good first step to go through. He's going to break it down to you, all 3 steps to get you what you need. And if you want somebody to maybe do the research for you, you pay that price and Mike can help you too. But yes, he will fill you up with knowledge that you never knew and give you all the things like those unanswered questions in your head throughout time. Talk to Mike, man. He's a great dude. I believe in Mike.
Know about slavery, but few discuss paper genocide. We did not all come from Africa, and most of us have Aboriginal roots that were stripped away due to reclassification and miseducation. As a native Black American and a member of the Muskogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. If you want to learn how to trace your genealogy and apply for tribal citizenship, go to nativebblackancestry.com to schedule a consultation.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted the Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes and they mixed them, and this shit get way deeper than your pigment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hit the like button on the way in, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you support independent media, and let's get on with the content. You guys know that I've been covering the Cold War, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, some call it a diaspora war, but a lot of us don't have any African admixture. A lot of us are Aboriginal to the Americas, so I don't even like to call it a diaspora war because I've done my heritage. I've traced my ancestry, and I don't have any Africans a part of my family tree. I don't know about you guys, but either way, what I really wanted to do here this evening is get some kind of biblical understanding on the major rift that we seem to be having with the Africans. I mean, on one hand, us Black Americans never really think about Africans. We have paved the way for them to come over here. We got a bunch of Africans in HBCUs. They're over here in our ancestral homeland living it up. And a lot of us were surprised to see over the last couple of years, really ever since COVID happened, we saw a bunch of Africans online just saying the most strangest, most egregious, disrespectful things about us, our culture, our lineage. And a lot of us were just wondering, where is it coming from? And then we realized that the more and more that we trace our heritage and we get in touch with our Aboriginal roots, the more it seems to upset the Africans.
Around with that fake history you are giving. Stop it. You call yourself Native Americans, yet you don't even know your tribe. Where is your tribe? What is the name of your tribe? What language do you speak, your so-called Native Americans? What language do you guys speak?
My tribe is the Muskogee Creek Nation. We speak Muskogee. Did I pass your test, Bush baby? I'm sorry, guys. I'm being a little petty. I'm being a little petty. I refer to them as Bush babies when I'm feeling a little irate. But why is she so mad that we're not from Africa?
Because every single tribe or every single country in this world have their own language. So if you are indigenous, just as Red Indians, or sorry to say Native Americans, they have their own language. They have their own tribes. So Madam so-called African, wanna be Native American, what is the name of your tribe? What is the name of your people? You coming up with some fake identity that is going to cause some crisis to our African identity. So please stop it. Stop with the fake history you are creating. Please.
Wait, what? We're causing a crisis to her African identity? What?
It's serious, guys.
Oh, it's serious, guys. It's serious. Why is it that Africans just can't leave us alone? They don't mess with the Haitians or the Dominicans or, you know, any of the folks in the Caribbean or South America. I mean, a bunch of Africans done fled to the UK and they ain't got nothing negative to say about those that flee to their oppressor's kingdom, but they got something to say about us. And you know what, guys? Tonight I have a special guest. I actually forgot to send him a new link. So I'm dropping the link in the chat. The link is only for our special guests. You know who you are. Go ahead and click the link. We'll bring you right up. But guys, on the one hand, these Africans can't get enough of us. They despise us, have a lot of xenophobic rhetoric aimed towards us. And at the same time, they want to grift and cosplay our culture.
I pay for therapy because my thoughts tear me. They keep on breaking me. I pay for tips, they scatter me. I cannot can barely sleep, but even I cannot hold on. Without you inside of me, I never knew this pain. Take the ones I love away from. I wanna see cats bad, why can't someone call me? I gotta shoot out on my sleeve. I'm feeling like.
Yeah, guys, we have a strange situation we're faced with. We've got this migrant crisis happening. And did you guys know that one of the largest migrant groups sneaking in through the Mexico border is Africans?
Migrant encounters, they topped bill 190,000
There's a
in
selfie
December.
on another selfie. You see the wall in the distance, right?
Yeah.
So at some point they came through, whether there was a hole there or a gap in the wall, who knows? But they'll be processed, and very soon you're going to see our drone cameras overhead showing you where they assemble next.
Can I tell you something about that selfie? So last week we saw the reporter from Mexico, a journalist in Mexico, saying that this is happening a lot, that this is how they're communicating with their families back home. They send a selfie that says, I got here, and because they look like they're in pretty good shape, they think it's encouraging the family members to follow.
Yeah, okay. All right. So we got Africans sneaking into the United States, and they're trying to pass for us. They're trying to talk like us, dress like us, because we've built such a solid foundation. We are globally revered. Everybody in the world wants to talk like, dress like, act like a native Black American. So the Africans say, hold up, the world hates Africans, but they love Black Americans. Why don't we just pretend to be Black Americans? I mean, I don't know if you guys realize how impactful and influential our culture is, but you do realize everybody want to act like a Black American, right? And I'm talking like everybody. Everybody. The Asians, the Russians, the Chinese, the red dot on the forehead wants to act like a Black American.
Don't say that, don't say that. I'm an Asian, but I got the shot. I got a beam on the clock. If you talking on the net, you get shot.
Balenci shoes, Jimmy Choo, Chanel slides, Louis boots, I can choose. Fuck it, give me everything,
Yeah, I don't think you hear me though. I don't think you hear me though. I said everybody wants to be like a Black American, and we have so many inventions: peanut butter, super soaker, things related to NASA, aeronautics, refrigeration, gas masks. I mean, we're so foundational to the globe, to the globe. And I'm just gonna harp on one of them. I'm just gonna focus on one of them. I'm just gonna focus on hip hop. Since we're so well known for that, we're just gonna use the example of hip hop and show you how everybody wanna be like a Black American.
With a conviction, it's like crucifixion. Get a letter of eviction, thrown out of their own home, stole from their own land. This has been going on for generations. Wake up, stop waiting. Like the Egyptians and Romans, powers get dismantled. Now they're putting sanctions on the Russians. Please God help me get out of this place. Please God help me find a way. Please God keep my enemies away. Please God help me see another day. For you are the only one who can pave my way. For you are the Father, the Creator. I'll never see face to face, but I trust in you. We are not a coward or a snake. They'll say shit about.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to be here for a moment. I'm just going to use hip hop as an example, but let me show you how everybody want to be like us.
Till they ass get hit with a slug, face on the ground, laying in blood. Now he a snitch ratting on the plug. All I see is a fake ass flex. You gon' have nothing but a lot of regret. You claiming stacks, but your pockets thin. Flexing on the gram, trying to fit in. Making it in the rap game, feeling real good. Got them bands stacked, making it out the hood. Making it in the rap game, feeling real good. Got them bands stacked, making it out the hood. Sometimes I wanna go back and reflect where I came from.
Damn, right now I'm currently reading literature about Southern Confederate Jews, and yeah, it's just so strange that I'm learning about racist white folks from the South, and now I see their descendants present day grifting and cosplaying our culture. It's just strange. But let's take a trip to China, shall we?
그거나 원하니 아내가 아프지 원하는 대로 다 사줘 잡히는 건 전부 가져가 맘에 안 드는 놈 사라져 뒤처리는 게 가만 알아서 하하 나의 엄마 그는 날 위해 올리지 멈추면 사망 라피 파피 비치 거쳐 맨날 얘는 놀라 말해 네가 사진 적구나 깜짝이야 내까지 깜짝이야 달려시 전에 뛰어가자 햄스터 너가 내줄 안에 갱사 곁에만 한 건데
I don't know. I don't think y'all hear me. I don't think y'all. Is this mic? Mic check. Mic check. I mean, do y'all hear what? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I mean, everybody wants to be like a Black American.
What we doing here? I'm swimming in the money, I need scuba gear. What'd you do this year? I took a trip to Belize to get a souvenir. I'm whiter than some souvenirs. Everywhere I go, they're staring at my ass. Grown women still have my parents on my ass. Keep your boyfriend, I'm not caring about his ass. Never been a Karen, only thing I'm caring about is cash. Writing bars while I'm blowing on exotic. That white girl dope is ironic. Mixing the tequila with the tonic. Red bottoms running to the money like Sonic. Sunrise, sunset, bitch, I'm doing yoga. Working till the sunset, gotta meet.
Damn, give it a few more years, and Becky gonna say she invented hip hop. Miss Congeniality is gonna say she invented hip hop. Coyote Ugly is gonna say she invented hip hop. I'm just okay. All right.
Bitch, one beef, I pop one. Hits don't move anytime I caught one. It's big C, never the small one. C for Sierra, don't get it mixed. I'm for with your gang, I just pack his wish. But he brought his gon' bag it in it, bitch. Got a crunch and bumping on some ghetto shit. Uncle Tucker packing, got a load of clip. Uncle Tucker ripping on some brody shit. Uncle Tucker betters, I been knowing this. I'm for with guys, I ain't throwing nothing. Just ghetto bitch, rapping country shit, like,
Didn't your daddy tell you stay away from them niggers? Wait a minute. Your great grandpa told you stay away from them blackies, and now you're over there in the projects with a microphone hanging from an invisible pole, and you're rapping just like the darkies. Oh my gosh. Guys, I love this. Imagine the amount of deceased white people that are rolling in their graves. I mean, this is this spiritual karma in a sense that their descendants grow to have this sick worship of our culture. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Open hopscotch. That's why he calling and I still got him blocked. Stop. I ain't got the time for your games. Stop blowing on my line. I'm too busy on the grind, making moves and got business on.
Hey, I got a 5-year-old. When my son turns 13, I'm gonna tell him this is Nicki Minaj.
If it's up, then it's stuck. When I say I'm done, ain't no us. When I say I'm done, there's no trust. Bitch, I'm the one, ain't no fuss. Hey. Coke bottle shape, I got him gone on my silhouette. Hit the right spot, I got the flow and the silhouette. He probably wondering like, you ain't in your feelings yet.
Oh God, oh God. Somebody stop the pain. Somebody stop the pain. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna beat the dead horse unless somebody slides something in the brown paper bag. You already know how it goes. If you want to hear the jingle, brown paper bag, if you want to stop the pain, then you know what to do, okay? Until then, we gonna beat the dead horse for a little while.
When we slide, put on the skates, and when we book, ain't for his face. He 762 tumble, make you flip over the gate. He barely caught a play whole time, his pants as if to say. The PLO was cool, but then his crayon, I bought the Drake. He spinning like a windmill, these 10 mils go through your windshield. If they want to sign, just know this shit ain't cheap, I need like 10 mil. Don't know if I score, but I can't take no chance, I throw the blick still hit him. Slipping off them deals, we got up close, yeah, that's a quick.
Guys, this will get worse and it won't get better. Play with me if you want to. We're going to go to the UK, okay? We got Galdem in the UK. We got the Queen's cousin in some saggy pants rapping through the streets of London.
Again, I'm a loony. Got a bump and my ass says juicy. I'm an artist, I ain't no groupie. Racks in the metro, no need to be moody. I'm not a typical Lucy, but I do love a bit of sad booby. And when it comes to the music, stick out like a cell phone. We're making a movie. Slap them biceps, darling. Bully bring up, beg your pardon. Belly full, but I'm still starving. No designer, I love a good bargain. This is days with a date in the margin. At the bin, just pencil sharpening. Praise the kid when I'm up in the morning. Cup of tea with margin and garden. Litty committee, my Kelly. On the block, getting all gritty. Should've brought coat, it's getting all chilly. On the back of my boyfriend's dilly. Give a fight to the local nitty. Now running out, it's getting all silly. No, fuck it, you know I ain't witty. This is why I fucking love my city. I reload myself like a full clip M30 in a Mac, call myself COD.
Ma'am, why are you posing like that? Ma'am, who made this pose pop? Wait, is she wearing a gang rag jacket? Is that gang rag design jacket in the UK? And I just saw a double decker red bus fly by on some Harry Potter shit. Oh my God, this is wild. Y'all can't even have guns in the UK, ma'am. I thought y'all throwing acid bombs at each other and shanking each other with machetes and shit. Y'all, this is wild. This is wild. This is wild. And somebody did hit the Cash App. Somebody slid something in the brown paper bag. We are going to ease the pain, but I'm going to do one last thing just to drive the point home. I'm going to torture you one last time. And I'm going to introduce you to Georgiana. Oh boy. If you don't know about Georgiana, you ain't been missing nothing.
Please. Now she gonna step in. All right, let's go.
I'll turn you up there since you let me. First class seat, like wow, such a blessing. My right hand man switched up, but now I got leverage. The bro took a watch, now his wrist all heavy. I hop in that all black shirt like a prison. You can go kick rocks if you hate for attention. I talk with a smile, you would think that I'm trolling. I'm badass, want me down with some lotion. I can't lock in, I know everybody going. Trying to paint me to be so bad, but I'm so rare, I gotta set up my hand. I'm so real, I read off a glance, but I pop shit cause I never really had it. Green pink.
Like, what is that, guys? Do you see the onslaught on our culture? I mean, I'm just expecting her to bust out any moment like, daddy was Confederate. Yay told triggers. Grandpappy was racist, but I love niggas. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, hold on though. This isn't the worst from her. I swear this isn't the worst. Georgina has an even worse freestyle. Hold on, guys. I swear that this will be the last one. Is this one it? Is it this one? No, it's not this one, guys. It's not this one. I wouldn't be surprised if they scrubbed it from the internet because it was so terrible, guys. It was so terrible. But this is all just to show you how everyone is infatuated with our culture, guys. I mean, absolutely infatuated. Boy, oh boy. Is it this one? Was it this one? Is it the 2-month-old one? Oh, this one is really going to make your skin crawl. I think it might be this one.
Law and Order. I hate bro bitches just a little. Shit, I mean a lot. When I pop out, I come real trim, cause them bitches watching. I like green bills like green tomatoes, cause they stuff my pockets. Call my hoes ganger, they my dogs when they eat the box. If you would fuck a broke bitch with no money, use a condom. I can't fuck with you, don't wear designer. My partners, they be scheming, cops and robbers. He say my name, I start SMH in Black Chicago. He say don't play with him, I swear to God that I go.
I don't know, guys, it is strange. Am I tripping, or is the cosplay on a trillion? I mean, if you closed your eyes, you would think you might be listening to a black girl. I mean, does she sit up in the mirror every night and practice the accent? Or, I don't know, guys. I just watched Gladiator 2. I know there's the story of those leaders. I think they were twins. They were supposed to be raised by wolves. Maybe she was just raised by niggas. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. But for some strange reason, everybody is infatuated with our culture. And I've got to thank Lisa. Lisa, thank you for ending our suffering. I appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, thank Lisa for sliding something in the brown paper bag.
Brown paper bag. Brown paper bag.
And without further ado, I see that our honored guest is here. Let's go ahead and bring him. Coming from the back to the front is Ankh. Ankh, let the people know, where can they find you on YouTube? What kind of content you create? And what do you think about these Hamites?
Hey, what's good? What's good? Mike TV. I'm Uncle Yahshua, also known as Uncle Yahya. Y'all can find me at Mashiach Assembly Ministries House of Yah. My brother Mike will put that link in the chat, or somebody will put it in the chat. All right. First of all, as a hip hop, first child of hip hop from the 70s, my goodness, the clips. Now, my personality, I love stupid stuff because I'm such a serious man that I love to laugh. And the ridiculousness is just beyond imaginable. But the funny thing, Brother Mike, is even that right there, everything you just showed is actually prophesied. Y'all don't know this, but it says that every nation on earth would mimic and mock and actually would actually imitate, listen guys, whether we are righteous or unrighteous. They will follow. I know y'all don't know this, but it literally says this in the scripture that the people, the nations, the other nations on the earth would follow the chosen line that the Most High called, whether it'll follow them in sin or in righteousness. So they'll follow us even if we were leading them to righteousness of the Most High, but they'll also follow us even if we leading them to sin and degradation. Do y'all understand? So what you just witnessed from Brother Mike was actually the prophecies of the children of all of those who hate the original seed, their children. You got to understand, all of what you just said, they got parents that are looking at them like Mike just said, you following those niggers? Becky is following the niggers. I caught her in the back of the barn. She was doing the hippity hoppity with the niggers music. She got this girl going fool in the UK had a Snoop Dogg, what's the name on, a gang flag on. They're going to follow you in your sin, and it'll be their descendants. You get what I'm saying? That's why, guys, you actually don't got to do nothing. All you got to do is strive to be righteous on earth, and the Most High his vengeance is his. Do y'all not understand that? It's the revenge of the righteous where you ain't even got to fight the battle. You can just go forth and be righteous and do it, and the Most High will take care of every nation of people who have wronged you. Y'all hear that? Every nation of people who wrong the righteous children of the Most High, this would be their lot. This was what would happen to them. This is prophecy. They think it's a religious book. It ain't. It's a book of prophecy. It's alive, and it tells, it's the greatest book. That's why every nation attacked this thing. Your history book, so-called black people. Now they're mimicking what? The wicked children of us, of our genealogy, the ones who went astray, right? And now listen, the nations who caused our children to even be in this state, because they did this to their parents, right? They institute all of these convicting policies and practices of cultural dehumanization on this people, and from the fruit of taking the men out of the home and the fathers away from the children and the covering, that this is the result of it, that some of our babies are out there doing that, and look what look what their children are doing, following them right to the lake, right to hell, right. You hear? Right? You can't even make it up. Some of these children that you'll be seeing doing this rapping, it's off every person on the planet Earth. There'll be rich white daddies or rich Asian daddies or rich African daddies or rich whatever, and ham Africa, and they'll be like, I can't believe they can't get them to stop. But they hate us.
And real quick, I really want to drive home that point that their forefathers literally put rules, regulations, laws on the book to try to prevent their descendants from commingling and cohabitating with us. This right here is a Virginia Slave Act of 1691. Mind you, interracial marriage was supposed to not be a thing until the 1900s, they claim, but for one reason or another, they had to make an act in 1691 that said if there was an interracial marriage between white people and black, Negro, mulatto, or Indian, because black people were any one of those three things, right? Anyone labeled black could have been a Negro, a mulatto, or an Indian, but if a white person married them, then guess what would happen to that white person in the Virginia colony? Any white person who married a person of color would be banished from the colony within 3 months of marriage. These are the type of laws they put on the book to try to prevent the mixing, because I think, like Uncle saying, we're just so influential. That's why we have propaganda, the reefer madness, and the this and the that. Whenever they get around us, I mean, they got to follow the lead, so it seems.
Whatever we do would be imitated. It's our nature. We were called to be the leaders of all nations on earth genetically. Now, even if we fail in transgression and be unrighteous, then we'll be leading other nations in unrighteousness. Yes, I know what you're thinking, that they're really trolling, but they're really not. You know why? Because a lot of them make their living off of that. And if you got to know them individually, they'll be talking like that. Yo, what's up? Smoking weed.
Their families are really disowning them. They really aren't invited to Thanksgiving. Their daddy really disowns them for real.
And they really believe, they live it too. They really be like, yo, what's up? You'll see that same little white girl who doing that she'll be like, yo, what's up, homie? You'll be like, girl, if you don't go somewhere and sit your butt down, you may know I really live this. Go by, right? But this is prophetic. It's going to happen no matter what. They're going to follow us in our righteousness, or they're going to follow us in our sin, but they will follow. Now listen clearly, everybody. We can laugh and all that, but this is what will also curse us, because there's a responsibility that we have to be righteous to the Most High. I know it's hard to do because of the world and sin that we in and all the stuff that happened, but when you go back, there was a curse placed over. Here we go, Brother Mike, and it ain't the curse of Ham. Now let's tie it in. Let's tie it on down. It ain't Ham. Now, They told us we were Hamites. They told us we got curse of Ham over us. You got the Mormon church. You got, they lied to us. And we believed it, right? We thought, yeah, we the black people. We Ham. We ain't Ham. Now, from the last point where we left off, y'all go back to the last slide. We left off by saying in all cultures, in all ancient cultures of the Sumerians, of the Phoenicians, of the Babylonians, of the Akkadians, of the Assyrians, of the Syriacs, of the Armenians, all these ancient cultures and beliefs, they all agreed on one thing, that there was a great deluge, a great flood that happened on the earth. Now, there was a family line it was one man's family line seed. And all the ancient books, they might call him different names because they spoke different languages, right? So if you go to the Epic of Gilgamesh, they might call him Makabakish or something, all right? But in the Hebrew book, which that Bible come from, that's what those people for Habariyah people, original people, they were black people. They called this man Nayak. You know him as transliterated as Noah. So the original Habariyah name of that man that built the ark, y'all heard the story, the great flood, the deluge, his name was Nayak, right? Now, he was called, the Most High called him perfect. Now, if you do any study of scripture, you'll be like, how would he be considered perfect when he had sinned, meaning he got drunk? For those who know any little bit of the story, for those who don't know, I'm going to make it simple as a baby. He got drunk in the scriptures, right? So how is he perfect? That's not what that word perfect meant in Habariyah. What the Most High was calling, he was calling Nayak, Noah, perfect, meaning he was the only one that the Most High can count, that his bloodline, he hadn't mixed his seed with Nephilim, giants like Goliath and King Gog and all of these. There were giants in those days. Now that's another thing that every culture of history of people on earth, people group, have a history story of giants. Okay, fallen angels, giants that walk the earth. Okay, 6 toes, 6 fingers, like these giants. Every culture. So this ain't a Christian Bible thing. I'm trying to relate it so people.
They know me as the king of receipts, so let me share some receipts. And this is a great segue into making sure that you guys are aware that I now have a membership option available on my website, nativeblackancestry.com. If you guys go to the plans and pricing page, you can subscribe to the website for only $9.99 a month. And this gives you access to the largest archive of Native Black American historical resources. Just today alone, I uploaded over 290 documents. You guys can download them. You can share them with family and friends. But I haven't downloaded these documents yet that I'm about to share with you in a moment about the giants. But I'm gonna upload the documents about the giants found in the Americas, giant skeletons, giant remains. The Smithsonian has been covering it up for centuries now, since the early 1800s. But check this out real quick. Let me bring up a couple of these slides. And I'm not trying to steal your thunder, Unc. I just want to provide some
No, go ahead.
Some additional insight because I just came across these documents recently. Let's do just a little bit of reading here. All right, and you guys should be able to see it right about now. This right here says giant skeletons found on the coast, Los Angeles, California. Jack Stoneberg and William Derbyshire of Chicago. Jack Stoneberg is of Chicago. Robert Derbyshire is of Santa Monica. They're contractors, and they unearthed the skeleton of a gigantic prehistoric man at a Santa Monica beach. The skeleton was over 9 feet in height. Hard work uncovered 13 more similar skeletons. 3 perfect specimens were brought to Santa Monica for exhibition, and scientists who have examined them say they are undoubtedly hundreds of years old. The skulls have the formations of an Indian head with high cheekbones and other pronounced characteristics. In every case, the teeth are practically intact. Here's another one. Giant bones found by sand pit digger near Cincinnati. Thursday afternoon, while Jacob Burke of Bromley, KY, is KY Kentucky? Connecticut? Okay, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Okay, a suburb of Cincinnati, was at work in the sand pits just east of Bromley. He unearthed what was at first supposed to be the bones of some animal, but on further examination it proved to be the skeleton of a man of gigantic proportions. After further excavating, it was discovered that there were 2 more skeletons of the same gigantic size, lying alongside of the one which was first discovered. The skeletons were lying in a rectangular order and were in excellent state of preservation. They were measured, and it was found that they averaged about 7 feet in height and had massive features and high cheekbones. The bones were well preserved in only a few places where they disconnected, while the teeth were in excellent condition. The excavation from which they were taken was 35 foot deep. So we're not going to go through each and every one of them, but I got about 15 or 20 or so of these news clippings from the 1800s, early 1900s, and they're finding these all over Florida, giant remains. And when we say giants, we're not talking some sci-fi stuff, some what's that, the anime where there's the gigantic things that is like 100 feet high. No, when they say giants, they're talking about 7 feet high, 9 feet high, 10 feet high. Imagine like the biggest basketball player. These type of people in those times were viewed as giants because the average height of the European was what, 5'5"?
Mm-hmm. 5 something. Yep, early 5s.
But I digress. You got it.
Yes, and some of them got a little taller, up to 10, 14 feet. But yes, they were not some Nephilim thing that was just a big 100,000 foot person. All right, so Sunkisser said it's much deeper than what he's talking about. The Bible was ran through like a woman. So, but Sunkisser, I have to stay with the basics for simplification purposes, but it goes really deep. And over time, we can go a lot deeper. The Bible and every other history book was added to and taken away from, but the Bible was the one that was misinterpreted more than the rest. That's the one that they're attacking because that's our history book. It's not a religious book. It's actually a book of history, of stuff. And there's mysteries, parables, precepts. There's things to be unlocked in it. And without the original language, then you won't understand. They wrote their likeness and their image, but the Messiah who came through that scripture said that there's mystery and parables that will be deciphered in the scripture, and you need the language to do that. Okay? All right. Now,
and we know that there has to be at least a seed of truth in the Bible, because in slave days, they forced the slaves to go to Sunday school. They preached their twisted version of the word to subjugate them, but they refused to allow the slaves to read the Bible. Why would they refuse to allow these people to read the Bible if it was all just allegory that told them to be good slaves anyways? There must be some seed of truth.
Facts. And I was Ohio too. Yes, absolutely. And they inserted themselves and wrote their likeness and their images and everything and contorted it and all of it. And all of the prophecies in it come to pass. So if you don't believe it for nothing else, look at the prophecies and see, do the prophecies come to pass? You can think of it as whatever you want. So again, we're going to have people the same as other people that come and all they want to do is keep attacking the Bible, but you don't attack the Vedas, right? You don't attack the Book of the Dead from Mitzrayim, you don't, right? But everybody, that lets you know right there that it got to be something in it in some way. Everybody's so against it. But anyway, all I'm talking, that's why when I bought the understanding, I went, what did I do? I went to all the other cultures, right? Well, in the last live, I was talking about the Epic of Gilgamesh, right? I was talking about the Vedas. I was talking about all of these other cultures, and I said they all agree that there was a flood, a deluge, right? And the Bible says one too. They all have a name for the characters. The Bible has one too. Okay, I'm just using the Bible because that's my history book. If it's not your history book, then
real quick,
that's
if
cool.
there's anybody who's totally turned off to religion, that's cool. Science confirms it as well. From a scientific lens, they refer to this as the Younger Dryas. It was a period of Earth geological history. They say there was a shifting of the poles, and they believe what caused it was a disorder of the skies or a meteor hitting northern Canada. And if we look at a map of the area where they believe that the meteor hit, we're talking about this area right here that looks oh so disheveled, doesn't it? Such broken up continents and continental drift and land. They say that the meteor hit right here and it caused such massive flooding that there was icebergs that carried boulders all the way from Canada to Portland, Oregon, Arizona. They say that the Grand Canyon was actually in fact formed by this great flood. Science nowadays wants you to believe that the Grand Canyon was formed through hundreds of thousands of years of erosion from the Ohio River. But if you actually look at the Grand Canyon, no, the evidence supports massive bodies of water moving in a very short amount of time. So, no matter where you look in the United States, there's definitely evidence of a flood, and all indigenous cultures have a flood myth within their culture, including my tribe,
Every last
the
one.
Muskogee Creek people.
Every last one. That's the uniting factor. That's the most common denominator, and that's why I want to bring out, because I don't want to, for others who like are against the Bible. Then you can be against the Bible. We're talking facts that every culture. He just said science and everything, right? Now, so in this flood, I'm going to speak from the Bible because the title tonight is tying in the Israelite descendants from that book with not the crazy ones on the street corner, all that hate cult group, not that, the ones from the Bible, with the natives in America and the Africans. We're going to stick to the title, right? All right. So now that's why I'm using this book, right? If we were talking about the ancient, Assyrians, then I'll be using their ancient texts, okay? But we're talking about the Americans, and okay. Now, in that story of the flood, there was a man that the creator said that he saw this man as being perfect in those times. Because in those times, the reason why there was a flood, that the creator wiped the earth because it was so wicked, and mixing of genetics and mixing of plants and animals, and just sin, just abundant. It was sin continually. And everyone in the earth bloodline had got contaminated. When the scripture says that he saw Noah, it calls him Noah, a Nayak. When it says he was perfect, it wasn't that he didn't sin. He was drinking and he was regular man. But the Most High knew that his bloodline, him, hadn't got contaminated. He didn't get contaminated with the fallen angels, with the giants, the Nephilim. People were mixing their seed. So he saw a perfection in his bloodline, that he would keep the earth. He would use him to repopulate the earth. Now, we won't do it tonight because that's deeper understanding. As the Sun Kisser says, a lot of deeper stuff that we can go into, and we'll be going in all different directions about one of the wives of his sons probably had Nephilim in their DNA. That's why the Nephilim, the unrighteous bloodline was still here after the flood. But let me get back to the flood. Let me get to the blacks, the whites, and I guess you would say the browns. All right. Now, this man Noah, he had 3 sons. This is all ancient cultures have this. They say it's 3 sons. They name them different things in the different tongues, but this ain't just a Bible thing. All right. And this bloodline was the bloodline that would populate the earth now, the new earth, because it was wiped. This is by a flood. Now, all cultures have this same thing. So this ain't a Christian thing. All right. All cultures, they just say it different names. Now, these 3 sons that this man Nayak Noah had, one was named Shem. In their original language, his name was Shamayam. The other one was named Ham, as Hamayam. And the third was named Yaphaf. They say Japheth, but in the original tongue is Yaphaf. Okay, Ham, Shem, and Japheth were the 3 sons from this man and his wife who would re-establish the people group on the earth. So, of all ancient cultures, they all agree that after this deluge, the earth was populated from one bloodline family. Now, these 3, this is where, well, they don't disagree. I was about to say you could disagree, but they don't disagree. What I mean by this is, if you went to the ancient Sumerians, Sumer, they were darkly melanated people. If you go to the ancient Akkadians, when you go back in history, which I can bring receipts and stuff and pictures, I got some that's going to show a little, whatever we can get out tonight, right? You will see that the original seed of these people were darkly melanated. So even if you went to the other cultures, they would still say that Nayak he was albino. So the script, they describe him right? So the original seed, we go from the darkest black all the way to the whitest white. We go from the darkest black hair to the pure white hair. We go from the darkest, blackest eyes to the lightest, whatever color, gray, blue eyes that you want to have, because it's the Eve gene. And every nation group of people on the earth come from the original seed, like that black color if you mix a paint bucket. You understand? Every color comes from that black original paint, and every color, all the way to the whitest white. And if you take all those colors and mix them together, they turn back into the original seed black. That's the only paint color or color that can do that. It's the original seed of mankind that came through from Nyack now. First time it happened with Adam. This time it's Nyack, Noah. Now, even though Noah was albino, he's still an original seed. So his children weren't albino. He had 3 sons. One was Ham. Ham was very dark. This is all through ancient cultures. Very, very dark. Shem. Shem was brown, like me. All right, middle in between dark. And Japheth was like Noah, red, light skin. He wasn't albino, but he took his dad's albinic colorisms. Japheth was light skin, what we call a red bone. Okay? So you got a real dark son, you got a brown son, and you got a light-skinned son. For most black people on the earth, y'all know we have that in our bloodline right now. Matter of fact, I was going to show you. I took it out. I could show you right now. I got really light skin. Even my son, my daughter's really light, and my son is really dark, and they got the same mother and father. Okay, that's us as a people group, as our genetics. Now, this is where they twist the history. This is where you get the Africans, and you get the African American and the Native American, and then you get where they're saying we are the same, but we are not the same people. Now, these were all original men. They came from the same mother and dad. So they would all be called black, even Japheth. He was light-skinned, right? Now, Ham. Now let me show you. I'm gonna show you a receipt of the descendant line, and I want to show you something, Brother Mike, because we're gonna go there on another time, because we ain't gonna get all of this out tonight, but I'll come back for another time, and I'm gonna show you right here where what you call them, the converts or the Uish people, where they come from. All right. Now I'm gonna let me go to present. Let me see. It's this one.
And I think from here on out, I really do want to refer to Jewish people primarily as converts, because I found that they have converted a lot to hide their identity. I was just reading a book earlier today about how in Spain they pretend to convert to, I think, Catholicism or Christianity or something, and no matter where they go, they'll pretend to be down with the local, customs and religion, but secretly they practice their own stuff, and they're always accused of economic exploitation and then kicked out of an area. And then they go to another area and they're accused of economic exploitation and then kicked out of that area. So it's a very, very interesting history there.
It's the history that transfers back all the way back to when they first, they called them the serpent people over in this European lands, over by Hungary and all of this stuff back then. It's called Khazaria. Okay, and King Bulan and them. I know the whole entire history. Now they called them the serpent people, and what they would do is they would conquer a nation or a people, and they would assume the identity of the people. That was they do. They would take their likeness, they would take their images and name themselves like they came even in America. They ran Hollywood and they named themselves Mayor Goldwyn Mayer. They named themselves Robert De Niro or whatever. They named themselves all of this.
Mark Cuban is a Jewish person, but his grandfather changed his name to hide his Jewish identity. So many of these people in prominent leadership positions, you think they're just white. No, they're Jewish. It's just they traded the Goldstein and the Steinberg last name for something that sounds more,
But they've done this way back. I'm talking about way back in antiquity for every nation. But when on another time when I'm on here, I'll break down how they actually took on Judaism. They chose between not Judaism, between the tribe of Judah and the Muslims. They had a choice to make which one, and they chose that one because they knew it was prophetic blessings from the Most High, and they knew that they can if they got the world to believe they was those people, then the world would give them land and would give them everything that's happening right now, Brother Mike. Everything that's happening right now.
That's something I definitely want you to touch on, because I always wondered why, even though they've always been accused of being enemies of Christ, they seem to keep Hebrew tradition. So it's almost like they feel like if they follow these traditions, even though they don't really believe it in their heart of hearts, they still get some kind of spiritual favor regardless.
And so the key, Brother Mike, is that we have to make the world believe that we are actually the people. Even though it's impossible, because I got a clip, I'm gonna show you that if they couldn't have been in slavery in Egypt because they would have died the first week in that sun, right? So it's impossible, and the Egyptian didn't draw them on the caves. But if they can control the media and control the narrative of the world and the books and rewrite and control, right, the narrative that's spread, then the world would think they are the people. And what would they do? They would give alms to them. Because the scripture says that he who blesses the lineage of the tribe of Habarah people will be blessed. So that's why we give billions of dollars to them and gave them, but it's all a hoodwink, right? And so they understand, and that's why they didn't like the Messiah when he came. We'll get to that another time, because he spoke out against them. He said, I know you. You are of your father, the devil. You who say you are of the tribe of Judah are not, but you do lie and you worship in synagogues. That's literal scripture. You understand? And so what did they do? They don't like him. They want to kill him. They don't like him. But let me get back to, all right, let me get here. I'm going to share this right here. Now this is the genealogical. Let me make sure y'all can see it. There we go. This is an image of the genealogical table of the descendants of Noah. Now, this is his sons after the flood. You have Japheth here, you have Ham here, you have Shem here. I'm going to show you this one. We'll start with Japheth first, Brother Mike, because you asked me, where did they descend from? Now, let me explain. Japheth has son, Gomer, and Javan. Gomer, let me do Javan. Javan has sons, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, Doadim. This is Rome. These are the descendants of the nations on the earth. And I'll be able to break that down for you another time. We're deeper dive, as that other brother said. Oh, it goes much deeper. We can get pretty deep, but I got to keep it basic for time's sake, right? So these are the descendants of these lands, Rome and Tarshish and all these stuff, right? Now, Tubal had Mesha and Tiras. Now, Gomer, he had children. His child name was Ashkenaz, Ripha, and Togarmah. Ashkenaz, Brother Mike, is what those people that you call the converts are. They are Ashkenazi Uish. Ask them. They are Ashkenazi. That's their cultural lineage. Okay. Now, they know that. If you just Google, you'll find that out. Do your research. You'll see there's an Ashkenazi. They call them JEWSs. Ashkenaz. This is telling you they descend from who, Brother Mike? Japheth. This is the Bible. I just wrote the Table of Nations from the Bible so y'all can see it. So if Ashkenaz descend from Japheth, then they can't descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They can't descend from Shem. They can't be Shemitic if they descend from Japheth. They are Japhetic. Let me explain. I'm going to explain a little basic, Brother Mike. This is Hamitic, Japhetic, Hamitic, and Shemitic. Now, they rewrote this word and call it Semitic. Just like they rewrote this word Judah and call it Jew. You see? Just like they rewrote in Uish, they rewrite, so they say Semite, not Shem, Sem. Who is Semi? Do you see any Sem here, Brother Mike? I don't see no Sem. I see, thank you. I see Shem, all right? But they know, so this is the thing, their deceit is so elaborate that they will literally have the people right in their face. You will know that the Egyptians drew who the slaves of the Hebrews was on the cave walls, and you know that they could never be in nobody's slavery field and live for a week, right? But
They
it's
got
so
Gerald
crazy.
Butler playing Gods of Egypt and stuff.
Exactly. It's just ridiculous. Now, so this is where they descend from. They are Japhetic people. Japhetic people are what you would call the Europeans, and we're going to get to that in one little second. I'm going to try to make it really quick. Now, these are the descendants of Japheth. They, after the flood, went towards Europe, towards the mountains, they went, I forgot what geographical location, we'll get there in a second. Now, in the middle, you have Ham. Ham is the most prominent son. Ham, his sons are Cush, that's Ethiopia, Mitzrayim, that's Egypt, and Canaan, that's the Canaanites in the scripture. These kingdoms, these are the blacks. These are the descendants of Ham. Ham was given most of the continent that they are calling Africa now. It was not called Africa then. That's why your people in your group, your audience was correct when they was like, these people over there, all their countries and cities is named after the enslavers, but they saying we are using someone else's culture. And they calling their continent Africa of Afrocipius, Africanus, and whoever else. They got other ones that
was named by some white lady in the 90s, right? Like all of it.
All of it. It's like, come on, bro. Like, but then they cosplaying and wants to, they want to hate on this is it, brother Noah. I mean, I called you Noah. That's an interesting mistake, brother Mike. You need to listen to that one. Now, listen, brother Mike, they all hate on him. And this is scriptural. I'm going to get there in a little second. I'm going to try to hurry up. It's a biblical thing that his descendants would be called separate from all nations on the earth who comes from all these two. Now, these are the three. This repopulate the earth. Now, Cush, he begot Nimrod. We're going to show you. I'm going to show you in a minute. These are fallen angels. These are your ancient gods. Seba, Havilah, Sabada, Saba, Ramaya, Sheba, Dedan. Then Mitzrayim, that's Egypt, Ludan, all his sons. The Philistines, all these are the nation. Listen, brother, in the scripture, brother Mike, the Most High said there are 7 nations that you are not to mix your seed with. He told the descendants of Shem, there are 7 nations. These are but the descendants that came from Eber, that came through Abraham, that came through Isaac, that came through Jacob, the set apart children. He told them, do not mix your seed with 7 nations. The Jebusites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Ammonites, and these were Ham's descendants. See that Jebusite right there? These because they mixed their seed with the fallen angels, Ham. These are what you would call mostly Africans. This is why people don't understand that we are separate. Now, no disrespect to some of the African brothers and sisters, but Shem, I'm going to show you in a minute. Ham, in this continent, they were all given, an allotment of the land that the Most High gave instructions. He said, Japheth, you're given this part over there. I'll break that down in a second. He said, Ham, you're given this part. Ham, brother Mike, was given what we call the continent of Africa, Ham was given about 80% of what we call the continent of Africa as his inheritance, the Hamitic people. That's why all of Africa is mostly Ham. Shem is still there, but it's in remnants, little pieces that Shem is there, the descendants. That ain't our land. Oh, okay, let me just keep walking down a little bit, all right? Now, what happened is he gave Shem.
Hold on. Real quick. We're gonna do the same thing as before. This time, I already have the next StreamYard link in the private chat for you.
I ain't know we went that fast.
hey, it's all good. It's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. As soon as this broadcast ends, there's gonna be a 10-second countdown. It's gonna automatically push you into the next live stream. Don't leave the screen you're currently on. We'll see you in just a moment.